Alright, Saltai Nexus. This is a combo control deck that does have the angle of Wilderness Reclamation into Nexus of Fate to start looping turns. But one of the things I really like that this build does compared to a lot of the other Nexus decks that kind of dirtle around for a little bit is that between Vraska, Relic Seeker, and 4 copies of Hydroid Krasis, this is a Nexus deck that's capable of actually pivoting and winning the game fairly quickly once you start comboing, which is very nice. So we are not a dedicated linear combo deck. We have things like Cast Down, Moment of Craving, and Thought Erasure to interact with our opponent a little bit, in addition to having a combo finish. So not just a fog, ignore you deck so much as we're trying to like kill the things on the board and interact with them a bit. This deck is not playing 4 copies of Nexus because it is not all in on the combo plan. Let her be free, Magic Sausage Cat. Thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Did I mulligan this? I feel like I'm supposed to mulligan this. Barricade, you've been timed out in my chat for using the word cancer as an insult towards something in a card game. Please don't do that. If you do, come back and do it again. You'll be banned. Thank you. I think I mulligan this. This hand's much better. And by much better, I mean hopefully they're playing a slow deck so we have time to Nexus of Fate, but I'm gonna hedge and bottom that. I just really need to hit my 4th land on time. Planning on climbing to top 8? I'm not, Dave. I think the grind at the top is just going to be too insane for people. I think in order to really get there, I'd have to like play a bunch of decks that'll be kind of tedious to play and make for medium content. When I was trying to just get into Mythic, it felt a little bit like I was being frustrated and not having fun, and just like that aspect of Magic is something that I just greatly prefer. Just like focus on enjoying myself rather than like making the number go up and down. Yeah, once a month, Nivik. They send me a direct deposit every middle of the month. How many 2-land plus Azcanta hands do you not keep with this deck? Against an unknown opponent, you basically keep all of them. You might decline keeping some of them against an aggressive deck if the rest of your hand isn't very good, though. Yeah, I think we're just trying to hit land drop to this point, right? So that sounds great. Maybe Rabid Beam. I mean, like, one of the things, so, like, ladder systems from other games, if you're familiar with them, you'll often have situations where it's very easy to move through the upper ranks, the bottom ranks, just because the players have MMRs or rankings that are very close to each other, and then, like, moving through the upper ranks, they get more packed in, so it's a lot more work to move through. I would love a Krasis, thank you. Hey, the Disco Pony, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support, I appreciate that. So shipping me your Bezo bucks this way this month. Can I go ahead and just do this for 4? Doing this for 4 is nice because this way if I start casting Nexus of Fate's next turn, I'll be able to be attacking them while I do that. That being said, my opponent has a Wilderness Reclamation in play here, so I might not get a next turn. Do I have a next turn? They can still cast Nexus of Fate this turn. This curve is very good for them. So Wilderness gives them 5, this gives them 2, so they could take an extra turn this turn. Nah, I just recommend Googling Python tutorials. If we untap, I agree there's a good chance we win. I'm not going to concede while they just have Teferi going. One quality of life change I wish they would make is I would greatly prefer if I didn't have to click done every time they reveal Nexus of Fate. Just so, like, when your opponent's sitting here comboing, I'd really like to just be able to, like, walk away from my computer, right? Just, like, let them do their thing instead of me having to pay attention. Just be like, yo, dog, do your thing. Let me know. Raise your hand when you're done. No, the auto pass still makes you click OK. I'm gonna concede probably to the next one. So I'm gonna wait for one more Nexus hit here, because the next Nexus hit means I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Looked through YouTube and didn't see times you played Control. Said Strakes was added. How I would sideboard the list? I don't offhand. Teacup. There is Jeskai Control in the queue that'll happen at some point, but I don't have the sideboard guide for that one offhand. Oh, really? If you never get priority, you don't have to actually click done? That's good to know. So they have a search for Azcanta now, so I'm going to go ahead and concede if they have Nexus of Fate at this point. I think I bin this. I'm just looking for copies of Nexus of Fate and Wilderness Reclamation at this point. I just want to fill my graveyard up. Get to the Thopter! To the Thopter! Yeah, there's only 4 cards in my bin here.
No more games.
Yeah, opponent must not realize this is a Flampler. Alright, that's a good draw. Alright, so they tried and they failed to climax, so hopefully we'll get there. That's the 5th card in my bin. Alright, so I have 8 lands, so if I do this, it puts the land into play. And I can do this. And then during my upkeep, in response to Search for Azcanta trigger, in response to this trigger, I'm going to go ahead and Chemister's Insight, so this way my Search for Azcanta guaranteed flips this turn. Alright, we're actually probably gonna win now. I couldn't figure out why everybody hated a dozen. Turns out it's gross. Alright, well, they're dead. It's a good time. Hope it was good for you, opponent. It was good for me. Well, they have way less tolerance for an opposing Nexus than we do. I would have made us show another thing. I think whether or not Nexus should be banned depends on what they want the ban list to mean and what they want to do with it. I think I want Carnage Tyrant. It's like a good way to kill Teferi. What do I actually want to trim here? Maybe I don't want the Crushing Canopies in this matchup. Now, I think being able to combo with Wilderness Reclamation is actually pretty important here. I think I'd rather just have negates. I have this still to kill their things. I think the idea that we're banning cards on Magic Arena that we're not also banning on paper is nonsense. I think it should be very important that we keep the ban list for best of 3 on Magic Arena the same as paper. The best way to play around Nexus of Fate is by playing best of 3 matches with sideboards, so you can have access to cards like Duress and Negate and Cindervines and Tithe Taker. There's lots of really great cards that are good against these Nexus decks, but they tend to not be cards that you can play in your main deck. Well, we're gonna take one of these. I would love a land to stay on top of my deck. I don't have to work Wednesday. I think this amount of bits will push Isreth to the front of the queue, so it can be played then. Well, thank you, Sal. I appreciate it. Keeping me around. I think I'm gonna take their Krasis here. It's their better card. Like, I have Dub's Wilderness Reclamation. I'm, like, nowhere near, like, you needing double ones. Also, they don't have a white source just yet, so... Ideally, I would like to find a Chemister's Insight next turn so I can go Reclamation into it something, but... Fingers can't be choosers. I've been avoiding Twitter, so we had a Quip toothbrush sponsor, and as a special plug for this sponsor, it's something I haven't tried before. If you sign in using your Twitch account when you buy the Quip, not only will you get an on-screen pop-up, but I'm giving everybody that checks out the sponsor by signing in 25 points to bump a deck in the deck queue. Oh, you know what? I should probably float mana there and then Growth Spiral, because if I draw Chemister's Insight now, I can't cast it. So, if I draw Chemister's Insight...
Let's slow this down.
Could you repeat the sponsor thing? Yes, if you buy a toothbrush from Quip using my sponsor link and sign in using your Twitch account to do so, I will give you 25 points to bump a deck of your choosing that's already in the deck queue. Oh, that's true. I should have drawn to get Negate. I was thinking this was game 1 and that there's not counterspells in my deck, but I totally should have Growth Spiraled in response to the Teferi. Is 100% the case.
Skip to the good part.
Over 90% while Tef is in play. That's some hot nonsense made up numbers. As long as they don't have, like, Search for Azcanta going with Wilderness Reclamation, they're actually, like, as someone who thinks of themselves as the king of concessions, like, this is still a game where they can very much brick. Yeah, matches like this playing out in paper at the Mythic Championship are going to be really tough for people to follow. Yeah, I agree. The addendum music is A+. Now, at this point, we're getting to a point where I'm going to go ahead and concede. Because, like, they have Wilderness Reclamation, they have Arc, they have Teferi, but... So I'm probably going to concede. Yeah, this Nexus I'm going to concede to. I agree. I think and I think most good players know this. I don't think there's power level reasons to ban Nexus of Fate, but I do think there are, this is going to make coverage awful and miserable and terrible to follow, and it's going to lead to games like this that, like, they just don't want on coverage. This hand's very good. I mean, the paper tournaments we have so far kind of strongly imply that, like, the power level of these decks is not out of bounds of, like, what's reasonable. But again, I think there's more than just that to be considering. So I think I'm actually going to wait to Thought Erasure here, because again, I can give them more chances to draw cards I care about actually taking. So I'm gonna go ahead and Growth Spiral this turn, because I can do that instead. Although taking Search for Azcanta would have been good, so maybe that was loose. I'm going to give them one more turn here. I'm just going to go ahead and Chemister's Insight. The land proxy is also incredibly embarrassing for Wizards of Coast as a company, I think. Like, it like puts their like card stock issues on display in a very public manner at their highest tournament. So for people not familiar, new to Magic or only playing digitally, Paper Magic has a card stock quality issue where the card stock tends to warp very badly. So Nexus is a card that's only printed in foil, which means it warps extra bad, which means playing at the official tournament, you don't put an actual copy of Nexus of Fate in your deck because it would be warped and marked. You put a copy of a basic land that's an official proxy that represents Nexus of Fate. It's very awkward to see on coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this happen because I can just negate the spell I was going to take anyways, most likely. And I'd like to Chemister's Insight this turn and get some more cards going. Well, no, you have to have a copy of the physical card. You have to have 4 Nexus of Fate, the curled. You have to have 4 Pringles with you in order to get a Nexus of Fate proxy. They don't just say, hey, anybody can do this. Alright, if we draw another land here, I can play Vraska while holding Negate up. I might also just play Carnage Tyrant while holding Negate up and try and get, like, that tempo Carnage Tyrant off these Nexus. Thought Erasure is a great draw. I think my opponent's far enough behind at this point that they're not going to be able to catch back up, but looking at their hand should tell us more. Correct, Clutch. We're actually talking about putting together some of the details. I'm going to get the details together for the sub-tournament. It's funny, I think it was Eric Froelich or some pro foiled out their deck so they didn't have to play with Nexus proxies because they just wanted to play with all real cards. I think errataing a card like Pridemate for making Arena play smoother is awesome, and that's a step in the right direction. I think anybody who has a problem with them doing that is someone that's going to be like saying actually a lot, and that's not someone I really want to interact with. Alright, so we're going to go to the end of turn here. We're going to make a bunch of mana. Yeah, they're done. I'm going to put a draft of the details together, and then I'll probably post them in Discord for suggestions before I make announcements. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are someone who enjoys standard best-of-3 constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks on here. We change decks every 60 to 90 minutes. As always, a shout out to all my wonderful subscribers, especially the folks that donated so many sub gifts today. Y'all are crazy and keep me here, so I wouldn't be here day in and day out without your support. Past my subscribers, I'd like to shout out some of my wonderful sponsors here. Quip is a new one that we've added this weekend. They provide affordable quality electric toothbrushes, and if you check them out using link bit.ly/HoogleQuip and you sign in with your Twitch account, not only will you get an on-screen pop-up, but you can also, I'll be able to track that, and I'm giving everybody who buys a toothbrush through Quip using my link 25 points to bump a deck in the queue they'd like to see a little bit sooner. Hurly Burly Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars. They do border extensions like my beautiful basic lands that I have here to show you, as well as full art replacements. And if you head on over to hurlyburlystudio.com, you can save 10% on all of your orders there by using code Jeff10. Cardsphere.com Hey, thanks for the biddies. Would love to help you turn your magic cards into other cards directly to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, inkedgaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. They do custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, bags, all sorts of other fantastic stuff. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artworks that they already have on their website. We are diving on in to our next match with our Saltai Nexus deck here. Beat Bant Nexus to start. I think the Bant Nexus matchup is a little bit a favorite for us. Like, obviously it's by no means an auto win, but the fact that we have counter spells in conjunction with discard spells tends to go a long way in our favor. So one of the things you need to understand, Numza, is like while changing that card, you're right, doesn't fix it for everything. A lot of modern cards are being designed to have less triggers so they work better on a digital platform like Arena. A good example of this is something like a Danto Vanguard isn't a trigger when it attacks. So historically speaking, I'm pretty confident a Danto Vanguard would have been templated in a way that said when this attacks, it gets 2-0 till end of turn, whereas the Danto Vanguard that we have today, it simply says when this is attacking, it has +2 attack. And that's templated that way so there's less triggers to click through. Oh, that's good to know, Rabbit Wallaby. I will have to forward that feedback through. We are playing against which looks to be the blue-green Nexus deck from this past weekend. And here, really showing the power of our little bit of interaction here, getting to take their Wilderness Reclamation away from them before they get it into play. They stated on their page. All right, well, they're aware of it. Animated Mellow, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. I wonder if that's Ray Day Pinball said I didn't get a notification for them, and I wonder if they had their ad blocker on. That was the issue. Sweet. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be... I'm not planning to run the sub-tournaments on my own. I hadn't started working on any of the details because we didn't have timelines, but now that we're going to have details, I'm going to figure out how we're going to want all this to work. Toon Tingy, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good Monday. Captain Quark, thanks for the Bezo bucks, folks. Thanks for keeping me around. Yes, yeah, no entry fee other than being subscribed to the channel. So I guess I just wait a turn. Nah, I'm just gonna jam them. They might have, what's it called? They might have a Frilled Mystic. The list from the open played a bunch of Frilled Mystics. Kinda just want to jam Vraska here, though. If I jam Vraska and they Frilled Mystic, they're not playing Chemister's Insight this turn, which seems profitable for me. And like having Vraska in play when I start casting Nexus means we kill them very quickly. We could get caught with our hand in the cookie jar here, and we might not get another turn, but I think it's right to jam the Vraska here and then, like, make them have it. Yep. And again, like, them just casting Nexus of Fate here, it feels a little bit bad, but, like, ultimately they're just spinning their tires, right? Like, without a source of card advantage in play or a way to be attacking us or progressing the board state, them doing that isn't really meaningful. So, if I cast Nexus of Fate next turn and it resolves, they're actually going to die, because Vraska's going to go to 10 next turn, and then if I take an extra turn, she's going to down tick and make them go to 1. So, if they have land, Wilderness Reclamation here, we could lose the game. Doesn't look like they have it. They could. They probably have Root Snare, right? So we're not guaranteed to win because they likely have a fog effect. For people that are newer to Magic, Fog is a card that prevents all combat damage till end of turn, so a Fog effect like Root Snare. Anything like Root Snare we refer to as a Fog effect using Magic jargon. Am I supposed to just Krasis here for a bunch? I feel like I am. I feel like I'm supposed to Krasis as a draw too. Wow. Wow. Woof. Woof. Please, glorious Nexus Master, give us an extra turn. That was a good line. That was some good stuff. All right. Yep. Lesson learned. Can you talk about game theory behind when you take 1 to 4 copies? You mean when you play 1 to 4 copies of a given card? Yeah, it's just how often you want to see it. Do you want to see this card every game? Play 4 of it. Do you want to see this card maybe every game? Play less than 4. How often do you want to see it? Dictates how many copies you play. I'm gonna eat some Honey Graham Crunch while I eat my cereal, while I sit here and die. This stream isn't always sponsored or endorsed by Hy-Vee brand Honey Graham Crunch, but Hy-Vee, if you're out there, it certainly could be. So I'd like to address something based on this game. That's something that I've heard a lot of people play regarding these Nexus decks. A lot of the complaints I've heard regarding these Nexus decks, and the reason why people don't like them, is people usually state that these decks aren't fun to play against because they're not interactive. My opponents interacted with me, and I've interacted with them in this game. So while I think it's perfectly fine to say you don't enjoy the play patterns that these decks generate, and they're kind of tedious and it's boring to sit through them comboing, I think saying that these decks aren't interactive is just like patently incorrect based on the definition of what interacting means in Magic. And a lot of the time, a lot of people use the term interaction in Magic just for like, oh, I didn't like this game that we played. But like, my opponents interacted with me a number of times this game. So I think writing this off as not being interactive is nonsense. Hey, Prof Bob, thanks for checking out Quip. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good one. This is game 1. I don't have a negate in my deck. Yeah, I think saying they're difficult to interact with, or they interact on a different axis is fine, but they are interacting. Yeah, I agree. Interacting is often used as a buzzword. What? Alright, well, they might be dead. Almost time to abuse my powers for good. Tempest Shadows, thanks for the 11-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so this is definitely a Canopy matchup. This is a Negate matchup. I think this actually isn't a Carnage Tyrant matchup. And the reason why I don't want Carnage Tyrant here, but I did want it against Bant Nexus, is because against Bant Nexus, this card pressures Teferi, whereas in this matchup, they don't have a Planeswalker for us to be pressuring, which I think makes this worse. think I'm gonna trim the Crushing Canopy. Actually, I'm not gonna board in all 4 negates because some of their counterspells are Frilled Mystic, which makes negate a little bit worse. There was a YouTuber telling his viewers he need to rope Nexus decks at every opportunity, starting from as soon as you know, / think they are Nexus. Yikes. Imagine being that petty and being filled with that much hate over a card game. Anybody who's like telling people to do that and then people are doing it, their lives must be pretty miserable. I feel bad for people like that, right? Like, to be that petty over the card game and have that much hate, like, you gotta be in a bad spot. What is roping? Roping comes from the Hearthstone term where you let your timer run out but don't quite burn the timer. Man, Past Jeff is so smart. He brought cereal downstairs with him. Cereal's delicious, chat. Ooh, that was a pretty good draw. And after I finish eating my cereal and I'm done working today, I can go brush my teeth with my Quip toothbrush to make sure the sugar doesn't rot them out. See that? Topical shills. I feel like they're holding a counterspell here. I'm just gonna play this for 1 and draw a card. X is 2, just draw 1 here. I agree. I think there are plenty of reasons to dislike Nexus decks. In fact, I wouldn't mind if Nexus wasn't a thing that existed in the format. Lazar Pugh, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. As someone with a strong magic and logic background, though, I just think it's disingenuous to say the reason why these decks aren't good is because they're not interactive, because a lot of these decks are very interactive by every metric of interaction you could have for Magic. Yep, not surprised to see that happen. That's why we played this last turn, but I really don't want to play a Krasis for 3. Next turn I'll probably play 1 for 4 though. Drawing Thought Erasure here means I'm going to do this into Wilderness. This is my best chance to stick my enchantment. Yep. So people keep asking me for my speculation on Nexus of Fate, and honestly, if there's anything playing Modern for a long time has taught me, it's that any speculation on what you want or think should happen to the ban list is just going to end up in frustration and disappointment. I've been playing Magic and like paying attention to competitive Magic for a very long time, and I still can't tell you what they make their ban list decisions up based on, so I just try not to guess. You might have been a misclick, E6. Oh, you said everyone hates Nexus. I'd time you out too. That's not constructive or specific. God, everyone hates Nexus is patently false, because there are plenty of people who do enjoy it. And again, there's nothing wrong with disliking it. Like, I understand people's reasons for disliking it, but just like, don't say nonsense about it because you dislike it. Negate? Or just a blink of the eye? Negate, doesn't surprise me. Post-board game, Negate's pretty common. If they attack with Krasis next turn, I'll probably trade. I would like to +1 Danon's comment. They should ban players who play Nexus but don't bring coloring books for their opponents. Bringing a coloring book is just the respectful thing to do, chat. Yeah, they flipped Azcanta and they have double Wilderness here, so I'm just gonna pack it in. We are statistically unlikely to win from there. We beat Bant Nexus in the first match, Bob. We're going to game 3 against Blue-Green Nexus. Hand's pretty good here on the play. Turn 2 Spiral, turn 3 Chemisters. Would love to rip a Wilderness Reclamation so we can do that into Chemisters. Thanks, Ziggy. Negating my... I wonder... That negate there to me feels like they don't have a lot of lands and they're just choosing their mana to be efficient so they don't have to discard the hand size. I could be reading into that though and maybe they just have a bunch of negates. Could definitely also mean they just have a grip full of negates. That one. If you're gonna message Leah Playmat, what are the odds we can get a site? We can figure something out. CTR. Drop me a DM. We can make that happen. Dear opponent, please don't kill me. I just wanted to draw a land. Please don't kill me. When your negate doesn't counter their counter. That's so brutal. Now, I think them burning the negate there is worthwhile. Oh, I just have to let this happen. Honestly, more Frilled Mystics being in the format is very likely a reason to start playing more copies of Disdainful Stroke rather than something like Essence Scatter. So they've already untapped their land. They only have 6 mana here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my negate here just to use my mana for the turn. This, like, stops their 2-for-1, which is, like, something I'm interested in doing. Fantastic. Am I supposed to Krasis for 2 here? I think I'm supposed to Krasis for 2. X is 4, sorry. Draw 2. They could combo me next turn, but I think I just need to, like, get my thing in play and, like, generate a little card advantage. So if I get another turn, and that's a big if here, I'm gonna be in a good spot. Don't worry, Nivik. I know we don't need to fix the mods. So again here, until they have a consistent card advantage engine, it's really not worth conceding, I don't think. But I guess at this point they're probably good. Yeah, for the sake of TV, they're gonna be another 3 or 4 minutes. I'm just gonna move along. Good enough. Good enough. I'll call that one good enough. It's more under the breach. Is it an idea to shill when they're not? I should create a window in window that shows the arena on the shill screen, so that way I can shill while we're getting comboed. That's a next level idea. I should do that. That's just A+. What's going on, Tofu? Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, mono blue. We've got a cast down here. We got to search for Azcanta. I guess they could be Drakes. Could be Drakes. Nexus level idea. I think I deserve a timeout. We got you, Draco. Thanks for the support, by the way. Nexus is sponsor friendly. All of a sudden, just like all my sponsors write Wizards of the Coast emails, which is like, please don't ban Nexus. It's important. Hey, AMV, thanks for the biddies. I appreciate it. What did I play to get into Mythic? We ended up playing Blue-Green Climb to finish it out. Blue-Green or Teamer Climb are my favorite decks in the current format. And I'm actually going to have an article talking about those decks and why I like them up on my sponsor, Cool Stuff Inc. on Wednesday. It's to get written tonight after I sign off. Would I charge for a deck critique that I'm taking to a Grand Prix? Nothing. Pop on in the subs Discord and send me a message. You already pay me dollars, or have Amazon pay me dollars for you, Nathan. Just posting it in the subs Discord in general is a good idea. A lot of other great people on there that can give you feedback as well. You can always find all of the previous decks I've played on my website and my YouTube channel. I'm actually just going to leave this Krasis here, because I think just like playing... I was almost thinking about playing a baby Krasis out anyways. Am I? Maybe I'm just playing Insight. Okay, I'm just going to Insight. I lied. Yeah, pop on into the subs Discord. Nah, the stretch goal didn't change. They just wanted to leave the sub points up on the screen, so I said, why not? Wow, our opponent is unlucky. For those of you looking to get better at the game, I would recommend being far luckier than our opponent, who is just like 20 cards into their deck on 2 lands. I don't oft feel bad for my opponents, but situations like this kind of make me a little... just like, oh. Alright, I'm gonna play this out for 3 here. Like, might as well draw a card. Yeah, definitely. In whatever format portion. You can't see my opponent's graveyard. Well, if you click on their graveyard using the overlay element, it will still be there. You are right that on my stream, it's underneath the thing, but you can still click on it. Whoa, they kept a card. This is the fabled third land I've heard so much about. I'm actually going to leave this Krasis at home, just in case my opponent has a maximize velocity randomly. Some of these decks still have that. And, like, attacking them for 3 is a pretty small upside, so... rather just be, like, a touch conservative. I think if Modern is going to continue to be a pretty linear and degenerate format, playing Dark Confidant probably makes sense. Dark Confidant tends to not be good against aggro or decks that can remove it, but if people are just ignoring you, Dark Confidant's probably great. I minus, so I could start attacking with this. Oh, you're saying because I was taking extra turn? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I was taking extra. Yeah, you're right. I don't think it matters. My opponent's incredibly unlucky. Gosh, we're so unlucky, chat. I think Tracker is better than Confidant SCTR, but a lot of the decks are playing both. They're playing like 3 and 3. And like, if you're in the market for more card advantage than just 4 Trackers, like, it doesn't seem unreasonable. Just want to say you're the most interactive streamer I've ever seen. You'll for sure be getting my Bezo bucks here for the foreseeable future. Well, thank you for the compliment, Johnny Chaos. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for keeping me around. We should have Azcanta post Nexus there. Yeah, probably. I didn't want to manually tap. Alright, so they're dead to Vraska. They put a 4th land in their deck? What are they, cheating? Thought you were only on 2 lands, opponent. Alright, hopefully we get a little bit more interactive game for the next one here. How's adding points to the deck queue work? Whenever you donate $1 or more or cheer 100 bits or more, you just want to attach a deck name in the queue to that donation or cheer, and then when I finish the stream, I go ahead and I add points to all the decks that have people cheer for them. So Moment of Craving's pretty bad here. It does kill Terramander, but I think that's kind of narrow. I think Vraska Relic Seeker's a little bit clunky as well. I definitely want the Canopies and the Contempts. I want 9 removal spells here. I'm gonna go ahead and trim a Search for Azcanta because it's a little bit slow to get going. Does Ritual of Soot get around Dive Down? Yeah, it does actually. Maybe I do want the Ritual of Soot. I'm so conditioned from last season when they were playing only 3 and 4 mana drakes, but now that they have Terramander and 3 manders as most of their threat, 3 mana drakes as most of their threats, maybe I should be doing that. I think chat commenting on Ritual of Soot is correct. Gosh, this hand is so good with the black source. How many black are in this deck? There's like 15 I'm gonna keep, I think. 8, 9, 12, 16 black sources. Sign me up. I guess I need 2. I don't know. I'm greedy. Yay, magic. Never didn't have it. Matt is online. He's going to be online basically every day when I wrap up. So I'll be for sure hosting him when I'm done. That sounds sweet, Jamil. The blue-green Nexus deck we just played against kind of messed us up with Blink of an Eye as a blink spell, so having a threat that blinks doesn't seem unreasonable. Have a good one, Dunshare. Huh. Think I'd take Disdainful Stroke? I guess Dive Down's their most efficient one. I'm gonna take Disdainful Stroke. Hey, thanks, Yachidi. How do you find your Discord link? You can get to the Discord server by using the instructions here. Nah, I think taking the Discovery and hoping they land screw is, like, pretty aggressive. They have plenty of good stuff in their hand, and I'd rather just, like, take a card that actually interacts with me rather than trying to get lucky like we did last game. And, like, they ran off a couple of charter courses here, so we're rewarded for, like, taking the card we care about instead of trying to be cheeky. Alright, don't spell pierce me, bro. Oh, I forgot to put my stop too soon. Unfortunate. So, I could have Chemister's Insight with the floating mana and left 2 up here and been able to cast down our Growth Spiral. Hey, Stunt Bum, thank you for the 6-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around here. Whoop. I would have been able to cast down. All right, I guess I just Krasis here, huh? For 4. When the stop is too late, hitting control is also too late. Alright, so we're going to untap, and then before I pass back to my opponent here, I'm going to go ahead and use Cast Down on this, just so I kill this while they're tapped out. Then we'll... The reason why I use Cast Down as opposed to Vraska's Contempt there is because I want a Chemister's Insight during the end of turn. Enigma Drake. Okay, they want to hold up Negate. That makes sense. I only play Modern in the mornings. We play a Modern or Legacy League on Magic Online to start every single day. Monday through Friday, there are 5 Magic Online leagues a week. We actually played a Teamer Control deck playing Krasis, Niv, and Ral earlier today, and it was awesome. I'm going to be putting it up on my website later this week for sure. Felt really sweet. Again, killing their thing now so they don't get to untap with Dive Down. We're mostly running out of gas here, but next turn I get to, like, play a land, play Krasis for 6, which, like, trades with their Drake and draws us some gas, hopefully. Pound for pound, like, minutes watched. The arena videos have more views on YouTube as well. The raw numbers on single Magic Online videos tend to be higher just because there's less of them. But if you combine all the views across the arena videos, they are more than the Modern. I mean, if they use Dive Down to save their Drake, that's still a win for me. I think that's still, like, something I'm interested in having happen. Got him. Alright, so we're gonna draw 4 cards here. We don't have a lot going on, but our hand's gonna change here very soon. Yeah, like, it drew us 3 cards and took 2 cards away from them. Like, pretty good exchange for us. Alright, so Bastel end of turn. These triggers go on the stack, float a mana, resolve. I'm going to go ahead and start by casting down the Crackling Drake, and the reason why I'm doing this first is I want them to dive down in response. Then I'm going to go ahead and Vraska's Contempt, because once they use the dive down here, they no longer have Negate or Disdainful Stroke up, which is ideal for us. Yeah, they're conceding. So we're gonna Nexus of Fate, and we're gonna Chemister's Insight, draw the card. Cue the circus music. Run him over. This hand just doesn't do anything. We hit Mythic yesterday morning. We got into Mythic at 500. We were 600 when we started today, and we're up to 225 right now. Loot Zombie, thank you for the 9-month resub. Hey, appreciate the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. It blows my mind that there are people who cite you need to ban Nexus of Fate because you can't open it in booster packs. I'm gonna blow your mind. If you go to coolstuffinc.com and type in the name of any Magic card, they'll sell you a copy of it without opening a booster pack. It's wild. It's wild. Lands. Rats. Alright, better than missing. Ban credit cards, confirmed broken. Yeah, I like playing combo decks on occasion. I wouldn't only want to play this deck, but I think playing a deck like this some of the time is fun. Land, please. Ding, ding. Alright, dive me down, baby. Holy crap. Somebody marked the calendar as a holiday. The mono blue deck had a mana up and they didn't counter our spell. I am so incredibly confused. Everything I know is wrong. It's all a lie, chat. I've just been lied to. They misclicked. Listen, chat, you gotta make them have it sometimes, and sometimes they don't have it. 911, I'd like to report a burglary. Someone's been robbed. Ooh, they drew it for the turn. They must have drawn it for the turn. They are one spell away from popping this off. We really need like a Hydroid Krasis. I'd like to draw a land plus a Krasis here, ideally. That's true. They could have been saving it to protect the Jhin. Yeah, I think we're actually dead here. They're gonna like fart off this Terramander and we're dead. Yep. Woof. Woof. I think I cut Thought Erasure in this matchup. Leave a Contempt in. I'm gonna leave all the searches in. Yeah, so we go up Momings, we had Cast Down, we have Ritual of Soot, we had Crushing Canopy. We trimmed the discard. Just like, I don't mind Duress in this matchup, but Thought Erasure is such expensive discard for what it's doing that I think it's just not quite worth it. Mustfall Casting, thanks for the Prime support, welcome back. Yeah, keeping hands without green sources generally needs to involve a scry and being on the draw. Nah, I think leaving in some Nexus is fine. And Reclamations. Just like, Saltai control is not very good against mono blue, so I think I'd rather have a chance to combo them. I think is my preferred line. Mustfall Casting, some of their totals are messed up since they changed systems. You've still got the shield and the sword next to your name. You're fine. Like something's wrong on Twitch's end. Which Nexus deck do I prefer? I think I like this build. I haven't played the straight blue-green build. I know the Bant builds of Nexus I've played have not felt good. I'm hoping with Search for Azcanta we can find some green mana here. Alright, I would take a do-over. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. I agree. The mono blue deck is very good, and it's very good in this matchup. Did Esper completely fall off? I have no idea. I really am not a fan of making like super strong statements about what decks are and aren't doing, so we just don't have data to work with. Everything, all the speculation about decks is just baseless for the most part. Like the small amounts of anecdotal data I have don't allow me to really draw meaningful conclusions. We hit a land here, we're gonna Krasis for 4. I'm pretty happy to get that Spell Pierce, honestly. Sure. I guess the Spell Pierce and the Chemister's Insight makes a whole lot more sense when they have a lot more counter spells to back it up. And they don't have a lot of pressures, like it makes sense that they have a lot of counter spells. Their no buttons are so mean, chat. They keep telling me no. I just want to have fun. Why do you hate fun, opponent? Yep. Okay, Ritual of Soot, baby. 2 copies of Ritual. 2 copies of Ritual. Let's do it. All right. Hit 1. Survey says. All right. So we just need them to brick one more time here. If they bricked here, we could trade with Temptation. We get a look with no, we actually can't look with Azcanta. So we get two shots. So we're gonna hit for 8 this turn. They're gonna hit us with Terramander plus the other 3/1/1s. We're gonna trade with Temptation. We're looking to draw like Moment of Craving to kill this Iron Storm Tamer, and then the Terramander with Crushing Canopy, or we're looking to hit Ritual of Soot. So looking for things to interact. I'm not going to have 8 mana to Azcanta plus Insight. Oh, I am actually. I totally can. Yeah, I counted right the first time. Yeah, well, if the Azcanta makes mana. I miscounted. I wasn't counting the Azcanta. Gosh, I'm supposed to keep this, right? Yeah, I'm supposed to keep this. It means if I find a Nexus, we get to keep going. If they have a Spell Pierce, we're dead, so I'm just, like, not even thinking about Spell Pierce. Alright, well, Moment of Craving actually means we get to live here. They have a dive down? If they have a dive down here, we're also dead. Oh, actually I'm not, right? Because they're only doing 7. No, they didn't miss it. They just have dive down as their hand. They didn't mess up. They stop it, chat. They didn't mess up. They took the right lines. They have dive down in their hand, and that's something that people do a lot in chat. They just like really want to say that someone made a mistake when they just like don't have all the information that the opponent's making. Didn't get hit by Curious Obsession. Step one. Step one, no Curious Obsession. Give me a ritual, baby. Give me a ritual, baby. Come on. Come on. Nexus or Ritual of Soot, one of the two. Nexus or Ritual of Soot. Oh, no. This keeps me alive, though, right? This keeps me alive. So I can cast down this and moment the other one. Oh, no, because they don't have to activate it. Yikes. All right, so let's do this. Discard this. Yee! Alright, if I hit a Nexus of Fate, I can combo, right? Yeah, I have enough mana with this floating to Nexus of Fate, so let's search for that first. Oh, yeah! Just tap it in. Tap, tap, tap it in. Look at that. By inches, chat, inches. Alright, hit me, dealer. Hit me, dealer. Kill you. Oh. Hoo-hoo. 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 All right, them games are, that's great. That's great. Had some fish for dinner, chat. I was a little bit hungry, but thankfully there was fish on the menu. I think we're gonna submit. I think I'm happy. I think we're gonna click submit. I wonder if we want a third Ritual of Soot in our board for this matchup, Bob. That might be a possibility. Remember, chat, the health total is not a scoreboard. It is a resource. Yeah, that seems fine. Like, not amazing, but fine. Like, you don't write home about it, but you're like, yeah, this is a keep. No turn one play. I'm so excited. Do 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 do. Be do 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 do. Man, they're about to slap a Curious Obsession onto this Trickster and end me, aren't they? Canopy can kill enchantments at least. Yikes! Gosh, we were so excited. We had the tools, but they have the technology. Blown out by top deck crush. That's brutal. So, my sequencing here gives them the option to counter my growth spiral. The reason why I did that is because I want them to counter my growth spiral. I'm doing that because I am okay if that's what they want to do. I'm doing this during my opponent's upkeep because this way, if my opponent has a counterspell, which they do, they use the mana on their turn as opposed to using it on my turn and then getting to untap. So by sequencing it out during their upkeep, I'm taxing their mana efficiency a little bit. Really hoping to draw a cast down this turn so I can Crushing Canopy plus cast down and force them to have 2 pieces of interaction next turn. I think we need Tyrants versus Control. I'm not sure that we do, Bob. I don't know. Genuinely don't know. Tyrant's like really good at messing up Teferi. Do we need the Vraska's Contempts? I'm playing this build kind of pre-boarded right now without Contempt, and maybe that's a card we don't need. Ooh, that's good. Okay. Oh, now I have to make decisions. Yikes. I think I actually have to kill the Tempest Shin, right? Do I have to kill the Tempest Shin here? Where's a Ritual of Soot when you need one? Where's that? That's the real question. Where's a Ritual of Soot when you need one? Thanks for the bits, Punk. I'm just dead in 2. I'm dead in 2. I really wish I had an actual removal spell. Krasis can trade, that's true. Let's Krasis. I think we Krasis. We Krasis and trade. I think I'm in for that. They're to like play another Merfolk Trickster and end me here. Which makes the Krasis play loose. I don't know. I think we're in a crap position regardless here. Just like drew the wrong interaction. They have a dive down. Maybe I'm just supposed to dig for Ritual of Soot there. So that's a good question. I didn't Canopy on their upkeep this time because they only had 1 mana up. Which means if I let them get to their upkeep, suddenly they have 2 mana counterspells available to them too. So by sequencing it, so I tried to do it during my turn there, they had to have explicitly dive down because I had 2 mana up to beat Spell Pierce. I mean, saying that this is coming back to bite me is being results-based. Don't do that. Instead, tell me why I made an incorrect decision with the information that I had at the time. They didn't lose the enchantment because Curious Obsession doesn't require the creature with the enchantment attack. It just requires that something attack that turn. Killing their wizard there means that they can't play Wizard's Retort for just 2 mana, which is nice. So they topped a card there, so I assume we're dead. Let's rebuild the sideboard a little bit. I don't care if Krasis dies to Ritual. If we cast Ritual of Soot, the game is over. If we cast Ritual of Soot, the game ends on the spot. Let's get a third Ritual of Soot into the sideboard, I think. I'm gonna put a Miser Trophy in here. I kind of want one more way to just destroy target thing. I'm gonna put a couple of Strokes in here for the blue-green build of Nexus. Do I just want 4 Ritual of Soot? Ritual's like our best card against mono blue, and it's like not particularly close. Wonder if we just want... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put 2 Duress in my sideboard. I think Duress is like good in the control. I'm going to split these. Because Duress I would play against mono blue, and it'll be good against control in the other ones. What's going on, Blunderbra? I like this. Let's do this. Let's play one more match before we call it a night. I was planning to be done by 5 every day this week, but we're still over 2,000 people and y'all rock, so let's play one more. And I'm gonna ship you over Maddie's way. Yeah, the resource efficiency on Duress is like really important against the mono blue matchup. I agree that Ritual is not good against mono red. I agree with your assessment, but mono blue's been way more popular than mono red. I can't remember the last time we found a bunch of basic mountains. There's been a ton of basic islands recently. Alright, let's draw some lands. Ritual is okay against mono white. Cry tends to be better against mono white. As for control. No, they just asked me to leave my sub count on screen because people wanted to watch it. So we're gonna be, everything's gonna be pink. Everything's gonna be pink. Don't you worry. Oh, I can put myself up the screen. I guess I am slightly over the top of the stack. Looks like Esper mid-range, not Esper control. I think this matchup's tough for us, but this is also a matchup where I want a bunch of copies of Ritual of Soot. Although this is a matchup where Vraska's Contempt is good too, so it's kind of... that's interesting. Oh, you know what? I could have cast this down and started comboing here, huh? Think I just need to kill this so I don't die? You can float mana in response to the untap trigger. So if I would have killed this, I would have had 3 extra mana and been able to Nexus of Fate. Because you float 3 and then untap 5 and have 8 total. Yeah, chat, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, oh, you're saying I drew the water. Okay, I got you. I got you. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right, fam. You're right. Past Jeff didn't mess up. Good guy. Good guy. Past Jeff. He gets one right on occasion. We hit all the stretch goals, Jerry. Much more mid-rangey build. Interesting. So, no reason to float mana, because I'm only going to have 6 total there. If we draw a land next turn, we can play Vraska, down tick, make a treasure, and then Nexus of Fate, which is sweet. They draw, like, Thought Erasure here. They're just going to put us in a tiny box in the ground. Interesting. They're playing a much bigger version of the Esper mid-range deck.
I'm known for my... You know what? I'm not done yet.
Hi, wife. Thank you. Oh, I was missing this. I left it upstairs. What? The end of this match? I don't know, 10, 20 minutes?
Okay, I have your receipts.
Okay, love you.
The table delivery is any time now.
Oh, okay. I should be done before you need to leave me with the kids. Okay. Not tucking is bold. I'm not cooking dinner, but we're going to have an actual dinner table, which is nice. Alright, so we get to flip Azcanta here, which bodes well for us. Looking for another Nexus at this point. So do I play Vraska or do I dig for a Nexus? I think I kind of just want to play Vraska. The chances of hitting Nexus are, like, really low. Like, they obviously don't have a counterspell. I don't think there's any compelling reason to be aggressive here. I can't cast another Reclamation. I think if you just want to go for it, this isn't the deck for you. You should be playing a different deck. If I shock this in... No, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Plan B, as soon as I think of one.
This, like, taps Teferi down for being able to tuck my Reclamation. I think we're still a pretty strong favorite from here.
Hold that thought.
Yeah, I agree, Bob. The pure Simic build is the much better version of just, like, making them have it. Be super linear and grab them.
That was a cheap shot.
It's a cheap shot. Sure. Yep. They have a Mortify here. Thief of Sanity. Well, that blocks to save Teferi. Gosh, we'd have gotten there. Dig is better for getting dinner sooner. You're not wrong. All right, now we kind of need to go for it. Ooh, ooh.
Attack at will.
Just in case we flub.
According to plan.
Let's do that, 'cause if we don't flub, it doesn't really matter. Ooh, piece of candy.
My crew is the finest in the seas.
Read. Cue the circus music. Put a fork in him, we're done, etc., etc. Easy. Easy game, easy life.
Fight them, you maggots!
Fight them! They're literally just on board, right? Don't even need to have Nexi to spare, chat. We've got Nexi to spare. Ain't nobody need him, but we've got him. All right. I think we're supposed to board into Saltai control in this matchup. I think we're supposed to board into Saltai control in this matchup. I think at the very least, I think the Reclamations are supposed to come out because they're a Mortify deck. At the very least, I think the Reclamations come out. Wait, what do we think of this? I like having Nexus as like a tempo play, probably. Let's do this. Just setting a stop is fine. If you just like click on your end step at the end of every turn, you won't have any issues. No need to full control. Full control is really awkward and tedious. 0 out of 10 would not recommend full control mode. Interesting. What did they keep? hand just like mono counterspells and stuff. Hopefully their hand is mono counterspells. We're just gonna like play this Carnage Tyrant. They're gonna like curl up in a little ball and cry. Your move, Yugi boy. This is all I got. Pick your poison. Welcome to the Thunderdome and all that jazz. Duress does not take Carnage Tyrant. Non-creature spell. The old Carney T is safe. He's got little stumpy arms. You can't duress him. He's not smart enough to come under duress, okay? Not smart enough to come under duress. So, because I drew a second Ritual of Soot, I'm gonna play the first one there that they know about, because it'll make them more inclined to extend moving forward. It also uses my mana efficiently this turn, which is nice. And like, next turn, I can play my 6th land out. If they played a threat, I can Chemister's Insight plus Moment of Craving, which is nice. And if they don't play a threat, I can just like, play a land, play my Carnage Tyrant. His foil plating makes him immune to duress. Wow, they left both cards on top there. That's kind of scary. We're trying to dodge Thought Erasure this turn so we can keep Carnage Tyrant around. Excellent. Well, now let's lead on this and see what we have going on. Well, I guess they probably have a counterspell. Spell Pierce is pretty rare in the decks that my opponent's playing. Maybe I am just supposed to Carnage Tyrant because they're acting like they have a counterspell. Wow! Anybody else remember the time? Anybody else remember the time we boarded out? We boarded out all the Wilderness Reclamations. Pepperidge Farm remembers. We're gonna ditch this Hinterland Harbor for a. Sure.
I am not going to sit this one out.
All right, I'm gonna be conservative here and play around them drawing a counterspell and just kill this.
Seen that coming.
Just do that now. Oh, you know what? I should do this at their end of turn, because, like, if they draw a hero here... Well, I guess if they draw a hero, it lets me moment it, so who cares? I actually need to update the schedule on my calendar. Usually I run till about... I'm going to be planning to running till about 5 o'clock. I am running over today, because Bob... We had a bunch of sub-gifts again, and Bob... and we have a good viewer count, but I'm going to be done after this match, actually. Play another creature out. Rats. And they know about this moment. They don't know about the next one. And then there's really no reason to Chemister's Insight here. I just got a pile of answers in my hand. These are my toys. Enjoy. I guess if they have a Doom Whisperer here, I could be in trouble. They could take my cast out and, like, put that into play. But sans a Doom Whisperer here or an Eldest Reborn, we're going to be in a very good spot. And honestly, I'd be kind of surprised if they had Eldest Reborn in their deck post-board against us. I believe Arena Auto takes from the known pool. Oh, we can use the moment as a combat trick. Good call, good call. They ditched hero there, which is great. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and ditch Ritual of Soot to Chemisters here. Nah, there's no reason to do that. Okay. I'm going to hold on to this in the event of another dispersal, or to jumpstart Chemister's Insight later. There's no, like, death touches or anything like that in here, right? No. Just 2/2s. Oh, that's good. I shouldn't have played that land. There was no reason to play that land out. Playing that land out was basically strictly incorrect. They have to copy this, right? Becomes a copy of target creature in your graveyard, so it's converted mana cost. So, hungry hippo. Do you have a negate? It does not say may. It has to become a copy. So it'll become a copy and then it will die. Yeah, Tempo Nexus. Sweet. I feel like we played some sweet games with this deck. I feel like we made good inroads on the sideboard. I think the way the ladder's been, especially in Mythic right now, I definitely want Cast Down and Moment in the main deck. I think I'm pretty happy with how we ended up today. As always, thanks everybody for watching. Shoutouts to all the absurd people that pushed us over impossible sub goals. I'm going to be looking into where I can go to get pink dye for my hair and my beard done this weekend, hopefully. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time with Modern, and then about 9 a.m. we'll kick off some more Standard on Arena. So 9 to 5-ish every day I'll be playing Arena. Remember, if you want more from me, you can check out my website and my YouTube channel. Everything gets archived in those two places. Past that, I'm going to go ahead, if you prefer to stay on Twitch, my buddy Matt is going to be streaming every evening now, and I'm going to go ahead and send y'all over his way. He's doing Standard Best of 3 on Arena as well. Have a good one, folks.